episode 3 of Rollin Dogs. Today we've got your budget franks. We've got some Bar S classic franks made with chicken and pork added, smoke flavoring added as well, because that's important in these. It's the 12-ounce package. You can pick these up at most retailers for $1 or less, pretty much anywhere you go. Got 8 of them in here. We're gonna pop it open, throw them on the roller, take a look at our 5 categories rated out of 10 in floppiness, juiciness, inside texture, flavor, and mouthfeel, then give it an overall score. And then I'd like to invite you into the comments to tell me how you feel about that score. Thank you for the feedback from last week. Thank you to everyone who watched episode number 2. It means a lot to me to have so many people who care about my hot dog roller. But anyway, Bar S franks. We'll get this cut open here. We'll get it thrown on the roller. There we go. Now, I've got to turn this thing on here. I just wish I had the operating manual. What did I ever do with the operating manual? We're going to throw that right out the window, though. Anyway, we'll start with the power button. Boom, dead on. Had the front crank to 4, rear crank to 4. Shows green lights that we're heating both. Rollers are rolling. So we'll get these franks thrown on here, and I'll be back in just a few minutes, and we'll give it a review. We're back. I let these guys roll a little bit longer because they didn't seem to be plumping up like other franks have been that we've put on the roller. About 14 minutes we've left them on here. They're starting to get a little bit more plump now. I noticed there's some bursting, which is something we didn't see from our previous 2 weeks. But anyway, let's get into these Bar S classic franks made with chicken, with pork added and smoke flavor added. For some dog diversity, we're going to go front corner and back corner here. Just so that we have an even comparison all around. We're going to take one dog, make it a classic, one dog, eat it plain, and rate it in our 5 categories. But we'll start now, of course, with floppiness. All right. It's taken a lot of effort for me to get a flop out of this dog. Oops. It's pretty stiff. I think that's why I might have dropped it there. And you can see it just breaks apart right in my hands there. Let's try this other one back here, see if we can get any better floppiness out of it. So the length, again, it just breaks right in half. The length may be an issue here. They're not the bun length, they're a standard frank. But floppiness, that's 3 out of 3 that just break on us here. We're gonna give floppiness I feel like I could give 0s here, but we're gonna go ahead and give it a 1 just to keep it on the board with floppiness. So a 1 for floppiness. I'm not going to flop the rest of them to death because we need to have some to taste as well. Then we'll move to juiciness. And you know, since we already had one or several bust open, you can see here, it's not really all that juicy. Definitely lacking in the juiciness area. But anyway, let's get these dogs dressed. We'll go ahead and get our classic dog dress first. Starting, of course, with French's Classic Yellow Mustard. Then we've got to have our Heinz Tomato Ketchup. And it wouldn't be a classic hot dog without Vlasic Sweet Relish, not dill. And our casings today, in keeping with the budget version of the classic hot dog, are Penny Smart white hot dog buns. Anyway, let's start with our classic dog. Here we go. So again, it's not the bun length frank, but it's still a frank nonetheless. We'll get it started here. And the juiciness just isn't there on these dogs. I mean, we're gonna throw a 1 in juiciness. Again, that's being generous, as I don't see any juice at all. Now we'll move on to our naked dog here, our raw dog, if you will, to finish out the rest of our rating. I pulled the bun off so we can get a little bit better indication of the hot dog here. Oh. The inside texture, it's like dry bologna, which I've never had, but I can only imagine that's what that is. Inside texture, we're gonna go with a 1 as well. Flavor, there's no flavor to it. I have absolutely no flavor coming from this Bar S Frank. Again, these are the classic Franks made with chicken, pork added, and smoke flavoring added. Flavor is non-existent. We're gonna be generous with a 1 there. Mouthfeel, I'm not even gonna finish the bite of that. It's just that bad. Mouthfeel. Have you ever went to take a giant gulp of your fresh lemonade right from the county fair? From a big cup with a lid on, and you take a big gulp, and then it turns out that it wasn't actually your lemonade, and it was just actually flat Pepsi. That's the mouthfeel of this. My expectation upon seeing hot dogs on the roller was excitement. I was about to eat a hot dog for episode 3. I was about to tell you guys all about it and try to sell you on the Bar S Classic Franks made with chicken, pork added, and smoke added. Mouthfeel it leaves everything to be desired. Normally I'd go off camera and do the math and then post the ratings up for you, but this is easy enough to average out. 1s across the board for an overall rating of 1 out of 10. Man, not only am I sorry you had to see this, I'm sorry that I had to eat this hot dog. I'll try to make it up to both of us next week with something a little bit better. Again, that was the Bar S Classic Franks made with chicken, with pork added, and artificial smoke flavor added. Hopefully this week's Will It Roll will redeem us here. Stay tuned for that. That brings us to this week's segment of Will It Roll. Before we get into it, just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's tuned in and subscribed to the YouTube channel, everyone who's thrown a like onto our Facebook page, checked out the Instagram, and even those who have bought t-shirts from me over the last couple weeks. It's much appreciated. So I've gone ahead and created a discount code that'll give you free shipping on select items through my merchandise store. You can find a link to the merch store down below in the comments. I'm going to try to magically put in the discount code right here. If that doesn't work, you'll see that in the comments as well. So thank you once again to everyone who's subscribed, everyone who's taken time out of their days to watch my videos, and hopefully you keep coming back. So we had such a blast with last week's Will It Roll that I decided to keep it equally crazy this week. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen when we throw raw eggs on the egg roller, so I went up and set the egg roller up outside again, just in case things get a little bit too crazy. Like it did last week. But we've got a dozen large grade A eggs here. Oh, I lied, I had a couple for breakfast this morning. But either way, we still have a good amount of eggs here. I'm going to throw a few of them on the roller, crank it up as high as it'll go, set the cameras up, and take a safe position and watch and see what happens. So once again, thanks for tuning in. Hit subscribe. I think there should be a button like somewhere right over in here towards the end of the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. I release an episode every week, and occasionally I'll have some bonus footage to throw up as well. But here we go. Will it roll? So, not quite the result we were hoping for from the hot dog roller and the eggs. We're going with our safety first here. Putting these heat-resistant gloves on. Powering down. We got this cold bucket of water. Hopefully a couple eggs might break in, but I have another plan here to get our desired results. Wondering if these are hard-boiled now. Alright, so not quite the result we were expecting from the hot dog roller, or at least I was expecting. I was kind of hoping it would act like a microwave and make the egg explode eventually, but after about 45 minutes on there, no such luck. So I think we may have ended up with hard-boiled eggs, or something to that effect, so we'll find out here. And it looks like we have partially cooked eggs, burnt right down the middle. They smell awful. But, as you'll find out, when I make a promise, I have to stick to it. I wanted these eggs to explode, so now it's time to rig these eggs up so they'll explode. Waterproof explosives. So anyway, this is our plan. Let's take it outside and see what we can do with some assistance.